Today we're doing a fairly easy job in the grand scheme of things, but it takes a little bit of setup and thought to get it right. Convertibles have what's called door alignment wedges, and what that is in the back of the door and in the front of the quarter, there's the two small little wedges. Basically, you got a plastic one that goes on the door, and it's got a wedge shape to it if I zoom in. And then on the body side, you have this other, it's bronze or some kind of cast copper. It's metallic, whatever it is. And it's, again, has a little wedge ramp to it. And that goes in the body kind of like that. So this striker, or alignment wedge, and this wedge go together. You see them there? Definitely a little wedge action going there. And what this does is, I guess it's because convertibles flex more than a hardtop. This keeps the alignment of the door and the quarter separated and proper. I don't imagine you'll get rattling without it. I mean, I don't know everything, but they go right here. Here is the plastic side, and the non-plastic side goes here. Now, my car was missing this side, the quarter panel side. I just put this one on. If you go on the other side of the car, you'll see it's missing. So I had to figure out where to put it. And if you look at the door, you say, well, it goes around, here, but where is here when you close the door? You can't see shit when you close the door. So what I did was take this metallic-y kind of wedge, and I put 3M strip caulk on it to affix it to the body in the general area where I thought it should go. And then I just took some lube. In this case, it was super lube. I only use that because it was clear and it's nice and clean. I put that on the body side wedge, and then I closed the door multiple times until I got contact between the two wedges, and I got the grease contact centered where I wanted it. So if I were to put it on, I'll do it now if you want to see it. Nobody believes me. I'll prove it. If you put some grease on this wedge, you can see I'm zooming in, it's dry. Put a blob of grease on it, okay? And put it on, look at this wedge. This one is also dry, and you close the door. It should be pretty well centered. Ta-da! See, it's pretty much centered. It could be my blob was a little off. It could be I could move it up a little, but yeah, no, my blob was a little off. It's off center, so So I let me do it again because I just want to make sure everybody believes me that it's it's fairly well centered. There you go. See, dead nuts. So that's how I did it. My feeble brain said, well, how else are you going to do this? You can't get your eye in there when you close the door, and you can't get your head in there. So you got to find a way to mock it up. So that's what I did. Now I'm going to do the passenger side. And if you want, I can try to have you follow along a little. Not the most glamorous job, but it is important to get this stuff done. So let me go over there and set it up and show you what I'm talking about. So here we are on the passenger side of the car. And it's going to go in this general vicinity over here. And you can actually look and see there's a couple of dimpled recesses almost right there. See it? That kind of puts you in the vicinity where it's going to go. So I got my wedge, and I loaded it with a blob of 3M strip caulk. And you put it so the short end of the wedge is out toward the plastic piece. And pick a random spot and stick it on there. This is how I'm doing it. You can do it the way you want to do it. Maybe take careful measurements or whatever, but hey, you do you and I'll do me. So we put a little contact blob right there and then close the door. And then we open it and see where it's contacting the plastic. And you can see it's way too low. So I gotta move the bronzy piece here. So it's gotta go, let's see, up, right? It contacted it. Where the hell am I? It contacted it up there. Up the top was hitting down the bottom. So this has got to go higher, right? So let's go a little higher. I don't know. Quarter inch sounds nice. And try again. All right, let's try that again. Now we're hitting, looks like the same or worse. So, okay. So I'm going the wrong way because I'm stupid. So, let's try that again. A little little lube on it. You can be generous with the lube if you want, because it's just light grease, not gonna hurt anything. You don't want to, put too much on, then it gets ridiculous. Here we go again. Okay, it's moving up. I mean, it's hitting in here because I got such a big blob that this edge hits it first. So it's going up. I'm going the right way. So let's go up a little higher. Maybe we'll come out a little bit too. And then we'll throw a little more jism on here and see what we get. All right, here we go again. This is all clean. That's all repositioned and lubed. This isn't a hard job, it's just tedious, here we go. So now we are pretty close to dead nuts. I mean, you can see again, the leading edge is taking the brunt, but it's, it's almost centered between the two screws. So I'm gonna go up another smidge. And let's see if that does the trick. Let's get it off the leading edge. Let's clean this guy off, so get a nice fresh witness mark. And here we go. And I think that is pretty much it. I mean, it's maybe a little high, but again, it's, it's way better than it was. So I can drop it a smidge, and it's probably gonna walk a little when I drill it. So let me get to the drilling part of the ceremony here. As far as the centering in and out kind of thing, why can't I get, there we go. This way, I'm just going to ballpark it. I mean, if I'm making a good contact swath on this, I think we got it where it needs to be. And if you look, it's wet to there almost the entire way. I could come out a little bit if I want to, which I probably will when I drill it. So let's pull it out a smidge. I mean, there's probably a better way to do this. And this thing probably is walking too when I close the door. But to me, if you look from this angle, the door jamb is only so wide. So I would probably just center it and make it vertically centered, or maybe favor it that way out, outboard a little bit, this way, a little bit. I think that'll do it. You could measure, I guess, from this surface right here to the center, and then measure from this surface to the center. That might get you closer. Maybe I'll give that a whirl for the hell of it to see what we got. Now, by my measurement, from here to the center is 5/8. On this side, from here, the door panel to the center is 3/4. So we're right on the ballpark. I can't say how centered these were from GM. I don't have my Firebird here to measure. That has the original mountings. So I can't tell you exactly where it should be. It's gonna be damn close. And considering I have none right now, I'm sure it's gonna be better than what I have, right? So I may move that one over a tiny bit more, maybe not an 1/8, but a 1/16. And that would be real close to that. I'm not trying to make a day's work out of this, because again, I'm sure it's a very unscientific device. I mean, look at it, it's plastic and bronze touching each other all the time. As long as they're making contact, you're probably good, but let me get going and drilling holes and all that crap. So I made the first mark with my drill bit before I took the wedge off the body. I was trying to do them both at the same time on the other side, and it walked a little bit because it's only mounted in this strip cock, So I'm gonna do one at a time. And if you see this blob of black tarry shit on the inside quarter panel, that is the residue from the strip cock. This batch I have is very gooey, for lack of a better term. It doesn't want to come off, release very well. The older versions of this product were a lot drier. You'd put them on, you could peel them right off without any gross residue. This one, I don't know if it got hot and melted, but it's not as neat and clean. So luckily, I don't know if you know this, but WD-40 takes this stuff right off. I don't have WD-40 today, I have PB Blaster. Same thing, it'll take that right off in seconds. So fear not, it comes off easily. Well, see, quick wipe with PB Blaster, and it's neat and clean, just like God and General Motors intended. And somehow I scratched the paint on my quarter panel, which sucks, but once I'm done, I'll touch it up, and no one will know. Well, except you guys and me. Don't tell anybody. All right, the hole is drilled and I tapped it. The screws actually have a self-tapping tip on them. Rather than screw around, I just figured I'd tap it with a a tap rather. So that's it. So it is mounted to the body, and now I'm going to drill the second hole, and I'll tap it, and then I'll put it together for a final fit up. And then when that's all done, I can take it apart again and touch up the paint. Woohoo. All right, that screw hole is drilled and tapped, and I ran the screw in. Now, before I cinch this thing up, they give you shims to go between the body and that wedge. They only give you 4, so I guess if you need more than 4, you're out of luck. The other side, I put 1 in, and it has good contact, so I'm assuming this side will need 1 also. So let's go with 1, and all you do is just slide them in. You know, GM might put them in for the backside to captivate them better, but I'm doing it this way because it's easier with my fat little hands. I should have actually indicated that these shims have a thicker end and a thinner end, so make sure you orient them correctly. I just test closed the door with the shim in it, and it did not like it. It was way too tight, so the door was actually pushing away from the quarter, so I took it out. And I have no shim in it now, and I put a new blob of super lube on here, so let's check our contact pattern. It closes nicely. Contact pattern is, I think that's pretty dead nuts. I mean, you can see where the wedge actually ate into the grease. I mean, dead center. I not pat myself on the back, but that came out pretty good. So I'm gonna call it right there and say that I nailed it. Yay me. If my arm could reach, I'd pat myself on the back. But and if you want to look at the wedge, you know, the bronze end of the wedge, you can see the contact right there. It's dead center, and it goes 3/4 of the way through it. So I'm gonna call that a victory. So now let me take it apart, touch up that paint. And my favorite part of the journey is when we live happily ever after. So I hope this was helpful for somebody. I know my friend Dave had questions about this about 4 or 5 months ago, and I threw my wisdom at him. I hadn't done it yet, but here you go, Dave. 4 or 5 months later. I hope this helps. I'm sure his car is done and looks better than mine, but Dave does superlative work. And I would tell you where his shop is, except he's not paying me to endorse him. So Dave, you want to slide me $100? I'll tell everybody the name of your shop and where you are. Just kidding. So, just kidding, buddy. All right. Anyway, hope that helps somebody, and hope your project's going better than mine. I want to finish up some shit in the Camaro so I can put some more time in the Corvette. I'm getting really nowhere with it, but the Camaro's not done, so it's not really fair. But it will be done very soon, and then I can move on. So, talk to you later. Thanks for watching, and see you later.